Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Alicia from Your Weight Loss, and this is my solo podcast episode day. So, today I want to share with you guys something that I learned during the Tim Hortons, the Would You Eat a Donut a Day documentary creation. So, it was a very powerful realization, actually. I'm going to be really honest. Forcing myself into that month-long experiment was incredible. And I really enjoyed living things and not just knowing something, but living it. It's a different layer of knowledge. And I also really enjoyed forcing myself to try something very different. I just enjoyed the experiment of it. So, one thing I noticed right from the beginning, I was not feeling as hungry as I thought I was going to feel. Now, if you guys remember, the rules of the documentary were pretty simple. We will eat only from Tim Hortons for 28 days. We had said and committed to each other that we were not going to go hangry. We were not going to feel deprived. We were not going to feel hungry. Feeling deprived is a whole nother conversation because I did feel deprived, even if I didn't feel hungry. I felt deprived because I had a very limited menu to choose from. So we said that we were going to eat from Tim Hortons menu. We were not going to eat. We were just going to listen to our hunger. So, not eat way past hunger and also not go hungry. That was the goal. Okay. So when we first started, I was like, I'm not that hungry. Like I felt like I was less hungry than before. And I kept thinking, why? Why am I less hungry? So a week went by and I lost I don't know, it was like over 2 pounds, I think, the first week. And I'm like, wow. So not only am I less hungry, I'm obviously creating a calorie deficit. And I hadn't lost weight the month before, I'd been maintaining my weight. So clearly, I was creating a calorie deficit. I was eating less food, less calories than I was before, and also not hungry, feeling less hungry than before. So my mind was honestly blown a little bit. And I thought, is it because I'm eating more carbohydrates? Are the carbohydrates satisfying me? I thought about, is it just because I'm so satiated? I'm just really loving those honey crullers. I just really couldn't pinpoint after the first week why I was feeling less hungry. And then it finally hit me. It wasn't that I was feeling less hungry than before the challenge. It was that I was actually becoming more in tune with my hunger cues. And this, for me personally, is my most powerful realization. I truly believe that it is going to be in my own personal journey, the most powerful tool that I'm going to have going forward. So, what happened was I forced myself into eating more mindfully. And before the experiment, if you would have said to me, Alicia, can you work on eating more mindfully? And I would say, absolutely. But do you know what? I'm going to be really honest. I didn't really value mindful eating. It's kind of like we all know that drinking water is good for us, but some of us are like, nah, does it really make that much of a difference? Right? Well, was my perspective and opinion on eating mindfully. I was like, I know it's like a thing that people say, but does it really matter? And honestly, before the experiment, I was very often eating while standing up, eating out of my pantry, standing up, eating on the run in my car, sitting down with the family and eating as fast as humanly possible before one of my children needed me to get up and get them something. So I absolutely had a lot of work to do on mindful eating, but I honestly didn't value it before the experiment. So then what started to happen is I needed to document every single thing I put in my mouth. So I would drive to Tim Hortons, then I would come home, I would sit, I'd set up two different cameras, I'd video it this way horizontally, I'd video it vertically, have a few bites, then I'd stop the video, and so by doing that, I actually was starting to eat slower. And because food was limited, now let me explain what I mean by that. I could always eat more. There was never like a calorie cutoff. I was always able to eat more. However, the nature of the experiment is I had to drive somewhere to get the food. So I would go and I would get the food that I had that I was gonna eat at a meal that was, like, more than a reasonable portion. Let's say, like, a breakfast sandwich and a donut. Like, that is a significant amount of food, volume-wise, as well as calorie density. Like, it's a lot of food. So, because I knew that was the only food that I was gonna eat in the next couple hours, it almost, like, made me sit and enjoy it, whereas if I'm sitting a meal with my family, well, there's just more food right there on the counter. So I can eat fast because then I can eat more. So I started to eat slower. I started to eat more, eat sitting. I was eating sitting. So I'm sitting, I'm eating slower. Okay. And then I'm still having moments where I finish, let's say, a breakfast sandwich, which is like 500 calories, a donut, which is like 300 calories. So in one sitting, I've just consumed 800 calories. And I think to myself, still hungry. And if there would have been another donut in front of me, totally would have eaten it. So I say to myself, Alicia, if you were still hungry in 20 minutes, drive to Tim Hortons. No big deal. Get yourself a donut if you're really still hungry. What would happen is 3 hours would go by, and I'd be like, oh, wow, I'm just starting to get hungry now. So this experiment forced me to realize that so often I was thinking I was still hungry after I finished my meal, but I wasn't. I just hadn't given myself time to feel full. I hadn't given my brain, my belly, my stomach enough time to send the message to my brain that I was good, that I was full, that I was satisfied. And that was an extremely powerful realization for me. And what I would have done before is I would have sat and ate a salad and then ate some chocolate, also probably around 800 calories, if I'm being really honest, like at one meal. And then I would have gone into my pantry and grabbed another handful of crispy minis and then like another little mini chocolate bar. So adding on, let's say 200 calories because I'm telling myself I'm still hungry, but I wasn't actually hungry. Times that by me eating 3 times a day. Let's say I add on an extra 200 calories 3 times a day in moments where, "Oh, I'm just not hungry yet. Just gonna grab, like, a shot of chocolate chips here, spoonful of bites of the kids' crap there." Bam, 600 calories for sure that I would have been consuming on a daily basis after my meal and justifying it, telling myself it's because I wasn't hungry, that I wasn't full. Oh my gosh, it's getting near 8 o'clock, you guys, and my brain starts to turn to mush at 8 p.m. So this was such a powerful realization for me. And going forward, I will implement this now into my current way, my current meal plan with that current knowledge. Now, here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with that extra 600 calories that I was consuming the run of a day. However, that's not where I want to spend my calories. My goodness, I wanna spend it on another meal, or I wanna spend it on the weekend on a beer, or I want to spend it on delicious, quality chocolate. So, it's not about that habit was bad, it's that habit is not who I wanna be. I don't want to be the person standing in the pantry having shots of chocolate chips. I want to sit, I wanna eat my meal, and I wanna wait and see if I'm actually still hungry before I eat more. And anyway, I just wanted to hop on here. I thought you guys would enjoy that topic. I thought you would enjoy, you know, um, talking about hunger. So, maybe you guys can start thinking about your own hunger cues. Do you think you're in tune with your hunger cues? Do you think you could eat more mindfully? Are you often eating standing up? Are you often eating on the run? Are you eating quickly? Are you giving yourself time to feel full before you go for seconds? And I would never tell you what to do or what not to do. I'm just going to create conversations between you and then you go and figure out how you want to implement that in your own life. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day. Make sure you keep sending me all your solo podcast ideas through Instagram. Just send me a DM. I have a list and I'm just going to hammer through them. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.